Well, hi everybody. Welcome to Queers and Soaps. I'm Tommy, and as always, I'm joined by Aaron.
Hello, everyone.
And tonight we are talking about the original Showtime series, The L Word.
Which, if you're trying to watch it, you have very little time. It's about to expire on Hulu.
I know it's been on Hulu forever, and I've been like,
I
now when I
I
go to
know.
watch it, and I want to watch more, I have 12 days to watch the whole thing.
I was like, it's expiring. I just watched the first two episodes, and now I want more.
Mm-hmm.
Paramount Plus better be picking it up.
All right. Well, we're talking about the pilot, which was 2 episodes, and roll the credits, and we'll start.
So, right off the bat, when I first saw, is her name Jenny? I think it's Jenny. I was like, where? I know her from somewhere. Vampire Diaries. She played Elena's biological mom, Isabel.
Yes. Um, my history with her goes further back. I know her from Not Another Teen Movie. She was the Catherine character.
That's right.
And I used to watch 24, and she was like a terrorist in the first season of 24.
She plays evil well.
Yeah, she's got the eyes.
Yeah.
So yeah. So Jenny moves to Los Angeles to be with her boyfriend, Tim.
Mm-hmm.
And he warns her that it's not, well, she thinks it's like a cozy, family-friendly, like neighborhood, like traditional neighborhood. And he's like, you'll see, it's not so traditional. So it ends up that it's pretty much a gay neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Because we also, while it is lesbian heavy, we do see gay dads walking around with their babies.
Mm-hmm.
We have a couple, Bet and Tina.
I love Bet.
Who've been together. They've been together for 7 years, and they're trying to have a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Unsuccessfully. And they are starting to see a therapist to make sure that they're good and in the right place to start a family.
And I was like, I applauded them because that was really, adult of them to realize, you know what, we may not have problems, but let's go ahead and talk it through so we make sure we're on the same page. We find out they're not.
What happens with the first one? Oh, they have a sperm donor in mind. I guess it's an artist friend of theirs, and pretty awkward scene. They give him a cup to jerk off into, and we just see the silhouette of him and the motion that he's doing it while they're walking around admiring his art.
I would be like, the weather, lovely. Yeah, it's California.
And then his finishing noises. Only to find out, so they're in the hospital for Tina to be inseminated. And the doctor encourages that Tina be aroused in order for the insemination to take. So she basically is hinting that that should go down on her while she's testing the sperm.
I know. It's kind of like, you going the extra mile, Doc. I don't know that that's appropriate. But
so she does.
Wasn't mad.
So she does, but not without protests, because she feels like it's weird to do this in a doctor's office.
I mean, yeah, because that doctor could just walk in at any moment.
Although that is the theme to a lot of gay porns, like gay male porns. Like, doctor patients.
But they learn. Slow swimmers.
Yeah. They weren't moving at all. They were just dead.
They're just kind of like standing there, like maybe moving, like wiggling a little. But
so now they're on the mission to find a donor quickly because she's ovulating, and they want it to just like happen now.
That's like the most awkward thing in both these episodes is them trying to find a donor because it's not subtle. It's like let's throw a donor party, pretty much.
Yeah, they do that, but none of the men at this party are aware that this is what's happening. Like, I feel like if you were throwing this theme party, then you should make the male guests know this, not just be like, "So, what's your medical background?" Like, you're trying to get all their backgrounds and then throwing this. So, can we have your sperm now?
Mm-hmm. See, it's taken so long for them because they're being judgy about who sperm they get. They want that high quality sperm.
We also have Shane, who is kind of the promiscuous one of the group.
I call her the female lesbian Brian Kinney.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's who I think of.
She has a former sexual partner who's a little bit obsessed with her. The blonde from Popular.
Mm-hmm.
That's married to Melissa Etheridge in real life.
I was kind of disappointed, and we didn't learn a lot about Shane besides the fact that she's very sexually active. That's pretty much like, is that all her character is going to be? Because that seems like that's all her character was for these 2 episodes.
Yeah, I think just because it was the pilot, and these 2 episodes probably aired together.
Yeah.
Because we definitely learn more about each character.
Oh, I'm sure, but just for a pilot,
I felt like Alice and Dana's the tennis player, and Alice was the bisexual. I felt like they were like the Ted and the Emmett of the group.
Mm-hmm. I like Alice. I think she's really fun. I love her every time. I can do a best of thing. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, do the best of Aaron.
I know this is kind of jumping really far ahead, but I liked her whole like linking people by who they slept with.
Oh my god, I love linking people together. I think it's like you really can. You can link so many people together. It's not even funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can link myself to a few celebrities. I mean, it doesn't mean no good, but
really,
yeah. Like, I went to school with this who's on the Grand Crew. I've mentioned it before, but he's been like on the Kelly Clarkson show, so I would assume, kind of knows Kelly because they're in the NBC family.
I can link you to somebody on the day. Well, we've met people on the Days Cast. Never mind. I'll do it offline because it's kind of client privilege.
Oh.
So, what was the girl's name? I think she owns the Planet, which is the coffee shop that they all frequent.
Was it Carmen?
The one that's been flirting with Jenny for these 2 episodes. I have the cast list up.
I do too. I'm thinking it. No, not Carmen. What was Eva? Was it Eva?
Marina?
Marina. That's right. Marina. She's pretty. Not that it's about looks or anything. But I was right up there with Jenny. I was like, I'd fall for it too.
She reminds me a lot of Shannon Elizabeth from the American Pie movies.
Mm-hmm.
Only with an accent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so she's got her eye on Jenny the whole time. Turns out they have the same tastes in literature.
Same favorite book that changed the world.
They both whisper what their favorite book is into Alice's ear, and she's like, all right, I'll just leave you 2 to get married. Jenny is very uncomfortable by the attraction that she has to Marina.
Jenny just seems very uncomfortable in general. She seems out of her element.
At the sperm party, Jenny goes to the bathroom, and so Marina follows her. And when she goes inside the bathroom, Marina storms in and hardcore kisses her,
Mm-hmm.
which makes Jenny panic, and she has to leave the party right away.
Yeah, she leaves a lot. She leaves a lot of things really fast.
um, but she seems better with it the next day because she makes her way to the planet, and that's when she sees Tina, and Tina invites her to come sit with the group, which is Marina's group,
Mm-hmm.
and they start talking about writing, not seminars, but like what is it called? Like almost like an open mic for writers that's going on at the planet, and like writing groups that meet up once a month. Um, so Marina invites her to, I guess, one that the planet's hosting,
Mm-hmm.
and she goes, but then she realizes that the whole crowd is lesbians, and that kind of freaks her out. Um, there was a moment where she freaked out and she was like about to leave, but she paused, and I guess someone was like, "Hey," like trying to hit on her, and she was like, "No."
I know, like damn girl, it broke her heart.
Well, there was a scene where at a bar with Alice and Dana where they were like checking out the girls, and they were like, "Oh, I haven't seen that one before," and they're like, "Ooh, fresh meat." And I'm like, that's pretty much the case at every gay bar. Somebody new comes, they're like, "Ooh, someone everyone hasn't slept with yet."
So did they mention if Janine was from like a small town or where's she coming from?
I don't remember. I'm sure they did.
Because I'm just trying to like figure out, is this just like culture shock to her, or is she realizing, uh-oh, I didn't know I had these feelings?
Yeah. Let's see. I'm on the Wikipedia, and the first sentence is Jenny's character was unpopular with both fans and critics.
Oh my goodness. Oh, because she's narcissistic in some ways.
she,
Yeah.
she she grew up in Illinois, it says.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, so Tina and Bet are unsuccessful at finding a sperm donor at the party.
Hmm.
Bet's half sister, oh, what was her name? Kit.
Yes. Played by
Uh,
Pam
Greer, yeah.
Greer. Thank you.
I thought it was funny when she got pulled over, and her and the cop were bonding over like musicians that they both liked, and he's
I
like,
know.
she's like, "I could get you into a concert in a couple of months," and he's like, "Your license is still expired. Leave your car."
I was kind of just like, ooh, hello, officer.
We didn't really get the full story, but there's like some kind of disconnect between Bet and Kit.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably something from their childhood.
Cool.
Well, they're half sisters, so I'm sure there's a whole "your mom didn't like my mom" or something like that situation. Mm-hmm. Or maybe there was cheating involved. Who knows? But they did have a sisterly scene because at some point, Bet thinks that she's found the perfect donor, and they need to go to the sperm bank the next day immediately because he's leaving town. And Tina's like, "But I haven't met him," and she's like, "Oh, I know what we both want." And Tina's kind of taken aback when she meets the guy, and he's a black man. Which I thought was an interesting aspect of this.
Uh-huh.
Because I guess Bet is half black, half white. So to her, she probably didn't think that maybe it would be an issue for Tina.
Well,
and Tina's saying it's not an issue, but she would like to have talked about it first.
Yeah, and she's worried about the thing she was worried about is kind of like, girl, you live in LA. I feel like it's a little more open-minded.
Yeah, she said something like, "This baby's already going to have two moms," she didn't want to put another other on it. I guess I don't know.
If they were like, if this show was set somewhere in the South, I'd be like, okay, I could see why she would say that because people still have those. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, not only are they in LA, but they're living in a gay-friendly neighborhood.
Yes.
Clearly. So
But I
school
see
district.
I see Bet's side is like, oh, this is a way for it to be part of both of us.
Mhm.
I was like, I thought Tina kind of maybe I don't know. I feel like she overreacted, but I did love the nurses come back or the receptionists come back where she's like, "Ooh, it's gonna be a big baby," because that's what I was thinking too. I was like, "Oh, that baby could be huge."
Well, first she said something like, "Oh, she's like, I can't believe you're so okay with this."
Mm-hmm.
And Tina's like, "Right," because she thinks that she's talking about the color of his skin. And she's like, "He's so big." She's like, "Men that big usually produce big babies."
Yeah, I feel like Tina would have had a 10-pound baby.
She would have been bedridden for most of the pregnancy.
Probably after too. No, I don't know much about birth, so I don't have an opinion on that. But
Okay, so in the beginning-ish of the pilot, Jenny is spying on the neighbors next door, and it's Shane sleeping with a blonde. Was Shane sleeping with Tina?
no,
Because they said that Bet and Tina live next door, and that.
I think she was just using their pool.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if I had a friend with a pool, you can bet John and I would be there.
Because then when she actually met Tina for the first time, when Tina was like gardening and offered her some rosemary because it was like swarming all over her garden, I'm like, is that the girl that Shane slept with?
No,
And
the
I'm
girl
like,
Shane slept with had long blonde hair, and
I thought so, but it was bugging me for the whole 2 episodes.
all I know is I just was not. Shane's very comfortable. She's just like whoosh, jump in, but she also doesn't know someone's watching.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be this whole aspect where like Bet and Tina weren't connecting sexually, so Tina's been sleeping with Shane. Like, there goes my soap opera mind. Got to make it all like.
I do the same thing.
Okay, so thanks for clarifying because that was bugging me, and I did not have time to rewind. Like, literally was watching this up to the minute I came on.
I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't sure I was gonna like this show, and I was kind of dreading it. Not because it's about lesbians or anything like that. I remember seeing like press for it and things like that, and it just didn't. I didn't think it'd be something I would guess like. I loved it. Like, oh my gosh.
I've only seen either half of the first season or most of the first season, but from things I've read, I think it gets pretty wild, like soapy, like out of like it just kind of like goes off the rails.
See, I was thinking it was like just something a little bit more not like I love my off the rails.
Yeah,
Like
I think based on what I've read, I think you and I would actually really enjoy this whole series.
because there have been some shows that people are like, "Oh, you'll love it," and I'm just like, mm-mm. And this was just one of these ones I've always wanted to watch it, but it's kind of been like,
Well, you only have 12 days. Get on it.
I know. I have to buy the DVDs.
Now you have to buy the DVD.
Should have bought them when I saw them. Buy 2 get 1.
Now you're gonna have to scavenge through like Second and Charles for it or something.
I'm gonna have to start going on road trips to get to. I'm looking for the L word. I need the L word. I'll be like, man, this gay boy's obsessed with the L word. Yes. Fun.
So after the whole race issue, which comes up in therapy,
I don't like this therapist.
Bet kind of has a breakthrough and realizes that maybe they aren't ready to have a baby. And that's when she goes to see her sister Kit. Kit or Kip? I think it's Kit.
Kit, K-I-T.
And that's when you can kind of tell that they have like a strain in their relationship, because the minute Kit says something, not necessarily judgmental, but maybe like harsh she kind of gets up and starts to storm out. But they have like a sweet sister moment where they like she tells her like she's surrounded by all this love and she should embrace it, and they hug, and it's like a nice sisterly moment. Bet is speaking with an art, like she's doing an exhibit where she's speaking with the artist and showing the art, and Tina goes to see it. They haven't had a fight, but they're not really speaking.
They made up real fast though.
And there's a man or an artist there who keeps telling Tina how attractive she is and how attractive both of them are, and they're an attractive couple.
Okay, were you shocked by that moment? Like how it led to?
So rewinding, they found another artist who agreed to be a donor.
Oh yes,
but he wanted to do it the natural way and sleep with Tina, and they were like not down for that. So I thought it was very interesting that all of a sudden they were down to like just do it with this random guy.
That was my favorite quote. I wrote it down because I don't know where it was. The penis, the vagina, the baby. Like the way the penis, the vagina, the baby. I was like, that's the best line in that whole episode.
So I thought they had informed him on what their intentions were. So when they were getting all hot and heavy and like figuring things out, and he started to put a condom on, they're like, "Oh, you don't need that," and he's like, "Yes, I do," and they were like, "No, you don't." And then he says, "Excuse my language, how come dykes only want to have a threesome when they want to steal your sperm or something like that?"
I mean, I don't agree with him. So I'm not a big fan of that word. I understand why he'd be mad. I would at least want to know, because were they just not going to tell him? Eventually, that kid would want to know, like, their father or.
Yeah, that whole scenario was messy.
I know. I was like, ooh, that scene didn't age well, Because nowadays that would come to a time of like consent. Well, even then it should have been like, we want your sperm. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Which is interesting too, though. He's like the first guy that actually wants to wear a condom.
Well, because he doesn't want to get her pregnant, and she's like, "No, you can. It's fine." And they're both like, "We want you to."
I like the other guy they asked, and he's like, "No." They're like, "But no, I don't want to." He's pretty much, "I don't want to pass on my genes. They bad. We don't want to pass them on."
Was it the one that said that first he tried to pull off the whole "we have like overbites or crooked teeth," and they were like, "It's fine, they're bruises," and then he was like, "Oh, receding hairline." She's like, "We can get weave or something." He was the one that was like, "I just want to do it."
I was like, "Girls, catch the hint." But I mean, we don't know how long they've been trying for a baby, so now if they just decided it, then cool, girl, they rushing it.
Jenny is being a little bit distant with Tim because she's struggling with her feelings for Marina. And she's out to eat with Tim and his friends, and Marina's at the same restaurant with Shane. I think I saw Alice, a few of the girls from the group. And she sees Marina go to the bathroom, so she says, "I have to go to the bathroom." And she's basically like, "You need to leave because you're making me uncomfortable."
I know. I was like, it's a restaurant. Like, I wish Marina would have been like, "Girl, that's not how this works."
Yeah, and then Marina kind of like leaned in to kind of like kiss her or like get flirty, but somebody came out of the stall and was like looking at them. And then when she left, she was like, "I want to see you again," and then she left.
Talk about like a 180.
And Marina's just like laughing because she's like, whatever.
She's probably thinking straight girls.
Where did they go? Oh, I think she went to like her writing group, where Marina said there will be straight people there, and they end up back at Marina's and they have sex. And Jenny was like crying through the whole thing. Which, if I was Marina, I would have stopped her. I'm like, "Are you okay? Like, you don't seem like you're enjoying this,
Are these tears of joy or tears of disgust?
right?"
Like,
So she goes home and she's like,
does Marina know she's got a Tim?
"Yeah, didn't she meet him at the party?"
I think. Okay. Sorry. That's sometimes when there's a two-parter, I have to freshen up.
And if they didn't meet at the party, I did hear her mention him.
Okay.
So she goes home. Jenny goes home, and at first she's like, crying because she feels guilty that she cheated on Tim, and also she's probably like, "What did I just do?" That she gave into her impulses.
Well, it doesn't seem like she really wants to be with Tim either.
And she gets into bed with him, still crying, but with her back turned, so he's kind of like spooning her. And he's like, "You smell different," because he smells Marina's perfume. And she says, "Oh, it's a new perfume." And he goes, "I like the old one." I was like, he does not like Marina, I guess. And then she wakes up the next morning and he's cooked breakfast for her and has an engagement ring.
I know, and that's how it ends. The episode. And I was just like, oh, got 12 days to watch. Find out what happens.
So I think that was everything, right? We had what's her name? Dana, the tennis player or wannabe pro tennis player who's in the closet.
I was confused why she brought the gay guy to the lesbian party. That the only straight guys coming there were going to be potential sperm donors. So, because there weren't a whole lot of guys at that party whatsoever. They had slim pickings.
Maybe just to be safe in case somebody knew somebody and she'd be like, "This is my boyfriend."
But isn't it like crazy to think how many athletes probably go through that? Like they're scared to. It's still like coming out as an athlete's hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was like, wow, this was 2004. And I'm
like, yeah. I was having to remind myself, like, this isn't now. This was 2004. So.
And I always think that 2004 wasn't that different, but it was.
Yeah, when you think back to it, it was very different.
So how would you rate the pilot?
I'd give it an 8. I loved when Alice was like, talking to, I guess, her boss or editor, and was like, I can probably connect us.
Yeah.
It was all about that connection, like connecting everyone. I loved it.
I'd give it a 7 because there were parts that were a little bit slow for me.
Okay.
But when there were things happening, they were happening.
Okay.
But again, it's a pilot, it's setting things up.
It is weird though to go from like, we watch Queer as Folk. That was the show but that's because it related to us as, gay men. To watch this and just the different worlds or we're similar, but we're still so different.
Mm-hmm. Oh, fun fact. The actress, well, I don't know their pronouns, what they go by now. But for argument's sake, we'll say actress. That plays Shane. She was on that Dawson's Creek spinoff, Young Americans. She was the one that was pretending to be a boy. She had her wrapped. And Ian Somerhalder's character were kind of... Ian, I think he thought he might be gay because he was like attracted to her, but he thought she was a boy. So
I will say there are moments where it's just like, okay, Shane, I see you. Like if she hit on me, I'd probably be like, hey, like, yeah.
I would too.
Yeah, I mean, just even a little bit of masculine energy probably gets me.
Kyle has a friend that's very androgynous, and I'm always like, oh my god, why am I so attracted to you? And Jessica too. We're always like, they're always making us question our sexuality. Jessica's like, I think I'm straight, and I'm like, I think I'm gay, but I don't know.
I know. See, I guess if that's what they want, the people that in my past, they wanted me to be straight. They should have just been introducing me to some
Androgynous people.
Because let me tell you, Crystal Chappelle in The Grove
Mhm.
was questioning things.
Oh,
Shame. I was kind of like, okay, girl. Like,
But yeah, so that's a 7 for me.
okay.
You have anything else to add?
I mean, I really liked it. I wish I would have given it a chance sooner. I mean, I didn't watch it the first when it was on because I didn't have Showtime. And I used to, like, when DVDs first came out, they were pricey. So I couldn't just buy a season because it was like, ooh, if you don't like that, $50 for a season is a lot of money.
Yeah. I took a lot of chances. I used to just buy things and be like, well,
I did too. I have lots of chances that didn't pay off.
oh, do you? Yeah, I have a few one season, lemons, if you want to call them that.
But I feel like this is one of those shows where I would be like, oh, okay, I'm okay with what it cost.
Yeah. I'm sure it's really cheap now if you look on Amazon.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it is. Probably
But
hard.
there's also a reboot or continuation. I think it's a continuation because
It
I
is.
think Jennifer Beals actually makes appearances in the new one.
Jennifer Biel?
She's
Oh,
the
wait.
one.
She's bad. Okay.
She's bad, yeah.
Yeah, she's in it. And I think, who else is in it? Like,
Well, don't look it up because you might spoil yourself for something in the original series.
that's true. That's true. Well, I already did. I hear about the demise of a character. I'm sure you saw it too, though.
Oh, I know about it, yeah.
It still won't make it any less shocking to me. But the actress that plays Jenny, she probably gets typecast because she will play that good I don't have a soul type character. That's why she was great for Isabel in the Vampire Diaries. Like I hated Isabel.
uh-huh.
I was just like, man, the actress is doing real good. But now I see, like, in the L Word, she wasn't loved either. Poor thing.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for listening. As always, you can check us out on all the socials at Queers and Soaps. And until next time, have a great night, guys.
This, I guess, will be our last Pride episode.
Yeah. Oh, happy Pride.
Happy goodbye to Pride.
We have a few more days in real time, but
So
yeah, it was a fun month.
Happy Pride, everyone. It was a good month.
Yeah.
But now, goodbye.
But now, goodbye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.